my love, my love, my love? Do you wanna be my love, love, love? Do you wanna be my love?
Oh no, where am I? Oh my god, there I am. Guys, let's fix that. Alright, there we are. Nice, we got it working. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. It's your boy Ango. We are live. Welcome to the NXT February 15th post show. What an interesting day, huh? What a good show. My name is Ango, and this show is brought to you by streammusic.gg. That opening song to the stream, that's actually me singing. I just threw the link in the chat, but you guys could actually check out all my music on streammusic.gg. It's a very cool music service. I've launched a music service for streamers and content creators to use music. So actually all music on the stream is copyright free thanks to my new music service. I launched that with YouTuber Tony Pizza Guy. But yeah, a lot of cool things to talk about with NXT. We're going to go for about 30 minutes. That's what I want to do for these post shows. I'm going to start doing this for NXT, Raw, SmackDown, Rampage. I've been doing it for Dynamite. Hopefully everybody's having a good night. Pam Jordan's in the chat. Hello, Pam. Davey Thompson, welcome. Cedric Gilmer, Real Take Wrestling. I mean, there's quite a few people in the chat, so thank you guys for coming through. If you guys haven't already liked the stream, go ahead and like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it. If you guys want to take advantage of some new perks, I've dropped some new perks. For $4.99 a month, you could become a member on this channel. Discord VIP access, early content starting in March 2022. Plus, you get a nice little icon next to your name. If you become a member, I'd greatly appreciate it. I invest 100% into the channel. And then if you guys actually want to, perhaps maybe you might want to leave a super chat, that would be really cool as well. Go ahead and do that. I'll read your questions and stuff. Nonetheless, today is February 15th, 2022. I have tons of notes for WWE NXT tonight. I was watching very closely. I have been very adamant that NXT 2.0 is one of my favorite WWE shows, one of my favorite wrestling shows in general. So I want to kick things off. We're going to go in order of the show. The opening match was Tony D'Angelo versus Pete Dunne. Tony D comes out in a Maybach. This dude is killing it. He is absolutely killing it. Which is actually really shocking because if you guys didn't watch NXT 2.0 tonight, Tony D'Angelo actually lost against Pete Dunne. But this was a weaponized cage match, which was really cool. I thought it added some fun. Wow, Tony Pizza Guy has just become a member. Shout out to Tony Pizza Guy. Thank you, brother, for becoming a member. I greatly appreciate you, my friend. But yeah, so we had a weaponized cage match, completely fun, good storytelling prior to this match. So there's a reason why I genuinely enjoyed this match. For one, I think this match had a lot of great moments back and forth. But the thing that really made me happy about this match was the storytelling prior to the match. And I just felt like this match felt like a big deal before the match even began. Also, Tony D'Angelo has very little experience, which is so shocking that he's able to pull off these big moments in these matches, let alone with somebody like Pete Dunne, who is a very complete veteran. So just kind of keep that in mind. Tony D'Angelo is definitely getting better as time goes on. Pete Dunne actually won this match, which to me was a little bit shocking because NXT 2.0 is all about the future. Pete Dunne's obviously been in NXT for a while, NXT UK. Ultimately, I love this match. It was a 15-minute match, some good back and forth. Pete Dunne winning again was a shocker to me, but I absolutely loved seeing it. I'm curious to see what they're going to do I'm curious to see what they're going to do, you know, with NXT 2.0. We're getting a comment from Tony Pizza Guy, who just became a member. He's taking advantage of the Discord VIP access. He says, give me my NXT fill. I need to know what's going on. You are my number one source. Tony Pizza Guy, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of stuff to talk about. So Tony D'Angelo, Pete Dunne was a beautiful, beautiful match. I'm all about this. I want to see weaponized cage matches become more of a thing in WWE, especially in NXT. It was just fun, you know, fun little match, good moments back and forth, good pace, good storytelling prior to the match. So a lot of these spots were effective. Again, I think when it comes to storytelling, you can't really get better than what we have seen with these characters. And we're going to actually talk about characters in just a few. But this show is very character centric, and that's a good thing to me. So next match we have is Toxic Attraction, and Toxic Attraction is defending their women championship belts against Persia and Indi Hartwell. To be honest, there's really not much to say here. It's a decent match. Clearly, Toxic Attraction is a big focus. Really quick, shout out to Davey Thompson. He's become a member now for 2 months. He didn't watch. Did Cody Rhodes and Brandy show up? No, unfortunately. Not yet. We could talk about that later, because we will talk about the Dusty Cup. But yeah, so basically what ends up happening, Toxic Attraction gets the win. Pretty quick match. It wasn't that long. After the match, guys, we're starting to see something really, really interesting. We're starting to see... Before I get to that thought, shout out to Real Take Wrestling. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you for watching NXT so I don't have to. Can't wait for these streams, bro. Dude, you're missing out. NXT is a fantastic show, and thank you for your super chat, by the way. This show, it's become one of my favorite wrestling shows. And it kind of led me to the point that I was going to make, right? So we had Toxic Attraction win. Clearly, there's a big focus on the three of them. Jacy, Gigi, Dolin, and then, of course, Mandy Rose. After the match, we get like some sort of backstage segment later on, right, with Indi Hartwell and Dexter Lumis, and then Persia ends up joining, and it's gonna kill me. I should have wrote down his name. I can't remember why I can't figure out his name. He's literally had 100 different names, but tall Australian dude, had to shave his head. You guys know what I'm getting at. Nonetheless, they're teasing some sort of like romance, like maybe a mixed tag team feud between the two. Like maybe they might break up. I'm not sure. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how that progresses. But again, a lot of what NXT has become is character centric, and I genuinely believe that is important for the show. Later on, we see Wendy Chu, who is also a new character. She is searching for a partner. She goes up to Amari Miller backstage. Amari Miller already has a partner for the Dusty Cup for the women. And Wendy Chu then looks at Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai is now putting her character on display. If you guys didn't see, Dakota Kai is now kind of like a split personality, kind of like talking to herself. Very much more character driven this time. Now, I do want to point out, when I discussed Dakota Kai and her new character, I'm intrigued because I feel like you need to have characters. I feel like wrestling is better with characters. And I think NXT it's okay to try out new characters and whatnot. Do I think this character is going to be a home run for Dakota Kai? She is doing fantastic. The idea of her and Wendy Chu being together is completely strange to me. But that's why I'm intrigued here. So all in all, small little segment backstage. I'm with it. I want to see how it develops. Not going to be offended if it doesn't turn into anything big. But I think because we are more reliant on these characters, I think the storytelling could be pretty good here. The next thing we get is LA Knight, who is supposed to be arrested by these cops. I hate security angles or cop angles, police angles, getting arrested, this type of stuff. Honestly, this was a really good segment, which is not something I going into this, I did not expect much, to be honest. So Grayson Waller is backstage with the cops. They come out to the ring. They see LA Knight. Basically, this sets up the match for next week. This whole thing, Grayson Waller being from Australia, he doesn't really understand how restraining orders work in the United States. So there's a mix-up. The cops ditch him, and then LA Knight beats the shit out of him. One thing I really want to mention here, LA Knight, 1,000,000% needs to go to the main roster. This guy can really, really kill it on the mic. LA Knight has big babyface energy, and I'm getting a lot, like, don't hate on me for saying this, guys, but I'm getting this vibe where LA Knight, when he cuts these promos, he is as good as Stone Cold Steve Austin. This man is electrifying. I genuinely love this. I loved this segment. And Grayson Waller, again, it's another character. He's getting you to hate him. Call it go away heat. Call it whatever you want. It doesn't even really matter at this point, guys. He is absolutely killing this role. And it's making it effective for television purposes when you look at a guy like LA Knight, who I think at this point we all want to see him in the main roster. But before he goes to the main roster, I want to see LA Knight beat the shit out of Grayson Waller. So it's a good moment, good segment, something I did not expect to be good whatsoever going into the show. Next, we get a Tommaso Ciampa backstage promo, which was actually really cool. Just basically setting up Dolph Ziggler and Ciampa next week. One thing that I wrote this down specifically. He says, I think that he has mistaken my loyalty for fear. And that right there was just a really good line. Ciampa is one of the best. I love what they're doing with him. I look forward to seeing what happens next. Again, just another effective promo, telling the story, progressing a storyline. This is what you need to have done on a week-to-week basis because, again, everything is much more character-driven here. Guys, we get Carmelo Hayes versus Cameron Grimes for the North American Championship. This right here was a phenomenal match. You got people on Twitter calling this a classic, and it's really hard for me to disagree with that. First of all, Cameron Grimes, Carmelo Hayes, two guys going back and forth, getting in these spots. Trick Williams gets involved. Absolutely incredible match. Carmelo Hayes retains. I stand by this statement. Carmelo Hayes, formerly known as Christian Casanova, had an opportunity to go to AEW, and for some reason AEW somehow just did not do it. I don't understand that. I don't know how they missed the boat. I'm not sure how AEW, for whatever reason it may be, chose not to they chose not to get him, or I don't know what happened, man. But Carmelo Hayes to me is a future star for WWE. Babyface, heel, I don't know. I think this guy is going to be able to do it all. Beautiful match. Cameron Grimes absolutely killing it. This is like one of those things where it shocks me, right? It shocks me. I see a lot of people sometimes they talk about NXT 2.0 in a negative light, but they don't watch the product. You're missing out on some freaking great ass wrestling, and this was proof. Carmelo Hayes obviously gets the win. Later on in the show, by the way, Pete Dunne ends up walking through the door backstage, and when he walks backstage through the door, guess what happens, my friends? He confronts Carmelo Hayes, congratulates him for retaining his belt, but says he won't keep it for long. Carmelo Hayes and Pete Dunne is something I am very well interested to. I'm very interested in that storyline. That is a match that, like, to me, I really, when I watch this, I think, okay, first of all, how can you not be a fan of Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, right? And then I think, how can you not be a fan of Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes taking on Pete Dunne? It's going to be a very, very intriguing story. It's going to be a very good match. I'm predicting that's going to be a very cool one. And I have something I'm going to mention later on in the show, because I'm starting to feel like NXT 2.0, these wrestlers are starting to really get good. I'm starting to get the vibe that this is no longer a developmental brand anymore, which is really funny because it hasn't been that long. So just something I want you guys to keep in mind, obviously. Next, we get the MSK versus Creed Brothers finals. Man, the Dusty Cup is one of my favorite things. They had a really cool opening for this. With this opening specifically, they had Dusty Rhodes. They had the clip of Dusty Rhodes talking about tag team wrestling. Just really beautiful in general. As you guys may have heard, Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes have left AEW. And while I wasn't fully expecting Cody and Brandy to show up and present the trophy, perhaps that could be an option next year. As you guys know, if you watch this channel, I've been covering the plans for Cody to go to WWE. It would have been really cool here. Malcolm Bivens actually came out, the entrance for the Creed Brothers Diamond Mine. He comes out with a Never Give Up towel. As you guys know, that belongs to John Cena. He comes out with the towel, but then what's really funny is he flips it around and it says, nah, you should. So the front side says, never give up. The back side says, nah, you should. He was obviously pointing that at MSK. This was a freaking phenomenal match. Again, for those who love wrestling, NXT 2.0 has phenomenal wrestling. The only difference is they are more character-centric. That's really the big thing. They are way more based on characters than any other wrestling show. And if you don't like characters, that's fine. I guess NXT is not for you. I think characters allow for things to be logical. So I really, really enjoyed this. Malcolm Bivens and the Creed brothers, man, they are on fire. Diamond Mine is on fire. Roderick Strong, to me, immediately comes off as somebody who should be competing against Bron Breakker for the World Championship. And it would be something, truth be told, I'd be interested to see if that is a possibility at some point. We then get a backstage vignette on the Tron. Nikita Lyons is set to debut next week. They're trying to make a big deal out of her debut. We have seen her previously on 205 Live, but now she's actually going to make her like main NXT debut. They are hyping her up. The first vignette they actually gave her to, by the way, was completely garbage. Now we're actually starting to see something become cool. So hopefully they present her good in the ring. You know, she's like this pop star / MMA person / you know, she's a girl that can do it all. You know, like 1 minute she's twerking, the next minute she's like a badass wrestler. I'm intrigued to see what they do with her. She has a lot of experience being a wrestler for women's of wrestling, so that is something I am willing, I want to see, something I want to take a look at as time goes on. After that vignette, we get an Imperium promo. Gunther, he wants NXT Gold. Really cool promo. I love Imperium. I love Gunther. What's really funny, the crowd, for some reason, the NXT crowd, I talk a lot of shit about them because I really don't like the NXT crowd. I was watching this promo. They're chanting Walter. Gunther's just talking over them. He doesn't even give a shit. He pays them no mind. He doesn't talk shit. He's just doing his thing. Solo Sikoa, he comes out. He comes out, and immediately as he's delivering this promo, this felt like a major deal. And again, this is something I've been saying about NXT. Things in NXT, every match, every segment seems like it's important to the show. That is something I often say about Impact. So, look, I'm just going to shoot straight with you guys. To me, that's important. And, you know, Gunther talking about wanting NXT Gold is massive because I do want to see him hold NXT Gold. But Solo Sikoa coming up, I love what he was doing. And I love this, man. I'm completely all in on Imperium and Gunther. I want to see this match. It's hard because both guys I feel like can't lose, and I think Solo is going to end up actually losing this match. And I think Gunther will go for the NXT Championship. Wouldn't be a bad idea for Gunther to hold that belt, by the way. Just being such a big veteran, a lot of people willing to move up in the ranks. Next thing we get is the Ziggler and Ciampa promo for next week. So it's been confirmed they are wrestling on NXT next week. I talk about this a lot in my Discord server. NXT back in like 2014, 2013, 2015, there was a lot of main roster crossover. For some reason, people in the internet wrestling community have a tendency to forget what NXT used to be built based off of. But back in the day, 2013, 2014, you know, we used to see main roster crossover. Tyson Kidd, we saw so many different things. We saw Jinder Mahal. There was a main roster crossover, which I thought back in the day was a good thing. Now we're seeing it with Ziggler and Ciampa, and I love it. It led over to Monday Night Raw. Now we know that Ziggler and Ciampa are fighting next week. I look forward to this match. Two really good wrestlers. It's just going to be fun. Ziggler is playing the heel. Ciampa is like the gatekeeper for NXT. A lot of it makes sense. It's logical, and I like it a lot. Now we get our commercial-free championship match. Bron Breakker gets a special entrance. During this match, some good moments here and there. Ziggler actually gets involved. So basically what ends up happening, is that Bron Breakker gets distracted by Legado del Fantasma. Ziggler comes in, super kicks Bron Breakker. Santos Escobar, he ends up going for the pin. Bron Breakker barely kicks out. And then Ziggler gets thrown away from the ring. He tries to get involved again, but then Tommaso Ciampa basically beats his ass. So this even furthers the story between Ciampa and Ziggler. What's really interesting in this match, we had a spear that came from Bron Breakker. Honestly, it didn't look good. Bron Breakker, those last two moves weren't as good as I've seen Bron Breakker wrestle before. Maybe it was nerves, I'm not sure. Maybe it was camera angle, but they just didn't look that good on TV. And it's strange because the fans were booing Bron Breakker. And I predicted this. The moment that he debuted and fought LA Knight on NXT 2.0, I knew what this WWE NXT crowd would be like. And to be honest with you, I don't give a shit about that crowd because I think that crowd would rather put themselves over than put over the product, than put over wrestlers. And that's fine. You can do whatever you want. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't agree with it. I think it's stupid, really, to go to a show and just, I don't know, try to put yourself over. And they tried doing that. And it's not the first time. This wasn't the first episode where they've tried doing that. They've tried doing that in the past with a ton of wrestlers. Just a reminder, if you guys are a fan and you're going to the show, you're there to watch. Boo and cheer if you want. But, you know, at the end of the day, when you're cheering Walter during Gunther, you're mad disrespectful to the wrestler. And it's not like this dude's fault. You know what I mean? It's like WWE made that choice. And I feel like it's mad disrespectful when you're cheering Walter, you know, when Gunther's talking. Or, you know, when Bron Breakker is wrestling Legado del Fantasma's very own Santos Escobar. And you're in a situation right now, like, you're booing and you're mad about what? He messed up a spear or something? I mean, it wasn't even that bad. It's just a strange thing. And I get it. You should be vocal. You should be critiquing the show. But I look at this as an opportunity for NXT to get better. I feel like this is an opportunity for wrestlers to get better. I don't value that type of audience. Personally, I don't value, like, I don't know. I think people, I look at that NXT crowd sometimes, and I think I believe they are more important than the actual show itself at times. And to be honest, I feel like it's a weird thing. I've discussed this in the past before when they had their stuff going on with MSK and, you know, that type of thing. And again, guys, it's just one of those things. Like, it is what it is. What can you do? But ultimately, I do find it odd that these people try to put themselves over. You know, all in all, though, I mean, this NXT show was really freaking good. And I really don't think there was anything bad. Honest to God, like, I think everything made sense. Everything was logical. We didn't see any DQ finishes. It feels different. And I get it, man. Maybe characters aren't for you. Maybe you watch the show and you think it's too... I don't know, man. I don't know. I think NXT is a really good show when you watch it live. And personally speaking, like, I think NXT might be the best show on a week-to-week basis. Everything feels important. And it's strange. It's strange, man, but it's true in my opinion. I think everything feels more important in NXT. I really do. I think I'm looking at Bron Breakker and I'm thinking, damn, Bron Breakker could have a really good feud with Ziggler. He could have a really good feud with Tommaso Ciampa again. He could have a really good feud with LA Knight. He could have a really good feud with Pete Dunne. He could have a really good feud with Gunther. He could have a really good feud with Carmelo Hayes. If I'm WWE right now, what I would do is have Bron Breakker turn heel at a certain point, because there are a ton of baby faces in NXT. That's what I would do personally. But I don't know. It's such a tough thing, dude. It's like, this is a really good show. I felt like I was going to go into this episode specifically talking shit about it, if I'm being completely honest. But I didn't. And I think the reason why I didn't was because, honestly, there was really nothing wrong with it, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes I go into these shows with this expectation and then I'm blown away. And I think that's kind of what happened today, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. I want to say thank you to everybody who shows up in the streams. Those of you who have the nice things to say, I appreciate you. Those who like to talk out of your ass in the comments of a YouTube channel, I don't know. You might have something more important to do than listen to Ango talk about wrestling. Who knows? Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't, unfortunately. But all in all, a great wrestling show. Good cage match. The Dusty Cup means something to me. It's an important part of the show. Malcolm Bivens continues to be a great asset for Diamond Mine. If you're going to keep Bron Breakker a babyface and the crowd starting to turn on him, you can't go wrong with having... You can't go wrong with building Roderick Strong for a world title reign. You have obviously Carmelo Hayes. And then, there's a lot of things happening in NXT as the show progresses. I'm curious to see how they continue to build it. A lot of people haven't... I don't think a lot of people have gotten invested in NXT just yet. So there's still a lot of potential for... I don't want to say overexposure, but I think that could be a potential issue. Who knows? It's a very, very interesting dynamic that they have, though. And I'm starting to feel like NXT is going back to the way I felt back in 2013, 2014, before NXT became an indie mess, in a way to compete with AEW. I don't know. I still stand by my statement that this show is like really, really good. I really do. I stand by it. I think this show is a really good show, and I don't mind telling people that. I don't mind telling people it's a good show. And I don't mind saying that NXT right now is one of the shows that I enjoy watching out of every wrestling company. So I know that bothers people, but I'm very firm on my opinion. I guess I'm not really afraid to speak how I feel. So, but anyways, guys, that's it, man. NXT 2.0, great show. I would give it a very solid score. If I had to judge it, I would say an 8 out of 10. Good pace, good show on Sci-Fi. I don't really care what the ratings are going to be. I know some people will try to talk about ratings tomorrow. Ratings could be up and down. It doesn't matter. The show was good in my opinion. If you liked it, disliked it, that's up to you. Again, thank you guys for watching. This stream was brought to you by streammusic.gg. All the music that's been on the stream has been provided by your boy Ango. So if you guys like that kind of stuff, make sure you guys check it out, support it. Also, don't forget you could become a member for $4.99 a month. Discord VIP access. You can get early content starting in March. Also, more perks. Yeah, a lot of cool things. We're building something very special on this channel. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Thank you, Alec, for your subscription. I greatly appreciate it. If anybody who left super chats today, I just want to say thank you. Also, thank you for the new members, $4.99 a month. I see you guys taking advantage of it, so I greatly appreciate it. I'll be live tomorrow for the AEW Dynamite live post show, which should be a very interesting one now that Cody Rhodes is gone. Otherwise, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.